Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. This is Vishal and let's start today's weekly sectoral analysis. In today's video, as I tweeted on my Twitter handle, that something very interesting is visible in IT higher time frame charts, CNX IT basically. So I'll be sharing that, which will come in the middle of the video. And to understand overall how markets are going to move in next 1 week or maybe next couple of weeks, watch the video till the end. Only then you will be able to take some benefit from it. All right. So first, as usual, I'll be starting with Nifty Futures. On the right hand side, I have the weekly time frame chart, and on the left hand side, I have the daily time frame chart. Now, looking at the weekly time frame chart, one thing which I had shared again on a Twitter handle, because this particular trend line, if you see, is a very, very important trend line. I think this is holding on since almost 2.5 years now. And this is on a weekly time frame chart, and you can see the importance of this particular trend line, at least this one. All right, you can see from this particular trend line what has happened is this is the birthplace. You can see at almost 15,000, 15,200. From here, this entire rally of June, July, which started from 15,000, 15,200, we ended up close to 18,100. So you can imagine what type of support it is. It's an extremely strong trend line support. Now this is a probable trend line. This is still not a complete trend line. Why? Because it has been tested only once. Now, in case if market comes down, all right, because currently overall Nifty is in a range bound market from 17,450 to, on the lower end, I would suggest you can say 16,700. And once 16,700 will break, again we have a flurry of supports which come in, which is this particular support band, which is from 16,750 to 16,650 thereabouts, because we have this support band. It's a 50% retracement. We have a cluster. We have a trend line support. So there are a lot of supports, and generally breaking this sort of support is not easy. I'm not saying that this support cannot be broken. Understand one thing, supports and resistances are generally temporary in nature, but till the time this supports hold on, I would suggest they are strong. And if you see the type of candles which have been made, this is a pretty big hammer, and this is a pretty strong green candle. This is not, although a bullish bell toll, but this is still a very good candle. And after that, this particular candle, the current week's candle, people may think, yeah, we haven't seen a very big rally in the current week, in the previous week, which just passed, right? But we need to understand what has happened over here is we have a high wave candle, my friends. High wave candle has occurred after a decent short-term correction has happened, and it is coming at a juncture where there are a lot of supports from the trend line, right? From the cluster, from the Fibonacci. So that is the reason the importance of this high wave candle is very, very high. Now, does it mean that we have bottomed out? I guess no. We haven't bottomed out, but yes, Indian markets are very, very strong in comparison to US markets. Even US markets are at very strong supports, but the overall state of trend, if you check, then I would suggest Indian markets are much stronger than US markets in comparison. But in the short term, because generally majority of traders would use the daily or the hourly charts to trade, or maybe even lower time frames. So in the lower time frame charts, market is pretty much range bound. It is not a very easy time to make money, and also it is not a very good time to highly over leverage your portfolio and take extremely high leverage positions. Like I was just talking to one of my friends who is also a trader, and just by joking, yesterday itself, just by joking, I called him. I think I was just going to the gym, and he just called me. I spoke to him, and that time I think Nifty future, initially Singapore Nifty was in minus, and then later on in the late evening and at night, I think it started going positive. It covered from the red, it went into the green, and then we saw that big 200 points Singapore Nifty in the green at night. So what happened was, I was just speaking to him, and he told me, what do you think, market kya lagta hai? Then I told him, seriously, want to hear? Just you should have bought today. He told, why? Singapore Nifty is in negative right now. We are not in positive because that time it was negative. And my answer to him was, if you see properly what is happening in market, the day Nifty Futures close in green, the next day we have a gap down. The day we close in green, the next day it opens red. So you don't need charts, you don't need analysis, you don't need anything. Just buy when the day ends in green and just sell when the day, just buy when the day ends in red and sell when the day ends in green. So you can imagine what sort of a choppy market we are going through. And I guess not very soon this market is going to get over. I think it may continue 1 or 2 weeks more. Although there is one thing which we need to understand, Indian markets have a habit of rallying during Diwali period. Now, Diwali is very, very near. If that point of time, if that Diwali magic happens and market starts rallying, we cannot do anything because ultimately price is God and we all respect it. So we have a support in place. If market wants to rally, we'll welcome the rally. But as per charts, I believe it needs at least 1 or 2 weeks consolidation more. And after that, only we'll be able to tell what is the next move probable in the market. Till that time, at least the 16,650, 16,600 levels should not be broken. If that are not broken, and I think we are still safe in the medium term. In the short term, yes, we are still fluctuating between, I should say, 17,450 to 16,700 or maybe 16,650. All right, so it's a pretty choppy market. Bank Nifty futures, relatively, I think I made myself very clear even in the last weekly sectoral analysis. Bank Nifty is much stronger in comparison to Nifty. And I think the simple reason for that is Nifty futures, if you check properly, it rallied, it has come down. If you check Bank Nifty futures also, it has rallied, it has come down. But the thing is, the type of support which Bank Nifty future has from this particular week is very, very high. Also, I believe the candles which have been made over here, especially the current week's candle, is a very good candle. This is a sort of a high wave candle, the previous week's candle, but it's still not exactly a high wave candle, but it's looking like one. So overall, even Bank Nifty is looking pretty good enough. But as of now, it is consolidating and it might continue to consolidate. But one thing we need to understand, if market wants to go higher, Bank Nifty has to participate over here. Bank Nifty has to participate, right? Now, coming to private banks, suddenly I feel in last couple of weeks, private banks are taking one step ahead, slowly and steadily. Private banks are looking good. They have, bounced back from this beautiful support band. Although in the short term, I believe that you can see that the prices are trading above both of the moving averages, but still the strength, the momentum is not there. You can see over here, the RSI is pretty laggard. It's not very strong. It's not flying. It's not going up like this. It's very laggard. And if you see there's a cluster, there's a lackluster gap up, and something like this is not going to work. If you want a very good rally with very high momentum, you need some candles like this. So this is what is needed. High momentum is needed. And in private banks, I believe I had shared one stock, which is IndusInd Bank. And it is, yes, one of the strongest stocks for a swing trade, probably. But as a positional trader, I would not look to buy IndusInd Bank because it is looking pretty much overstretched. As a swing trade, yes, it looks fine. One another stock, according to me, is Axis Bank. Axis Bank, if you see as a positional trade, it's looking beautiful. Even as a swing trade, it's looking okay, but as of now, there is no swing trade over here because it's pretty much overstretched. You can see the difference between the moving averages and the price, right? So if it consolidates, if it drops down, and after a small drop, if it starts rallying again, probably we could have a decent swing trade in our hand on the long side. All right. PSU banks. PSU banks, if you check again, difference between PSU banks and private banks. You can see the formation of candles over here. And now I'll show you the formation of candles in the PSU banks. So I think this week, especially this week, private banks have taken a little, PSU banks a little bit have taken a beating. They've come down a little bit, but overall it's okay. They're just still consolidating. There is no such sign of a big correction or anything else until and unless some big level is broken. Overall, I think the trend is up. The reason due to that is they're still maintaining this higher high, higher low phenomena. Till this thing is evident, there is no issues. But I guess in terms of momentum, there is no momentum in the short term. So once if we have some momentum, a breakout or something like that from this range, only then we'll be able to, utilize the strength of the PSU banks. Metal pack in the weekly time frame chart, it's looking very interesting. The reason is we have a back-to-back big hammers over here. They're not small, they're very big hammers. And then suddenly we have a shooting star right over here. So this shows that we are in a constant conflict of bull versus bears. Selling pressure is coming over here and some sort of buying is coming at this level. So overall, we are still consolidating, nothing much. And probably only after a couple of weeks, we'll be able to understand what's going to happen in this particular sector. But there is one stock which I like, which I shared even last week, is Jindal Steel and Power. Now, I guess as of now, this stock is pretty ready for a swing trade. Any short-term breakout, I'm talking about a short-term breakout, not a positional breakout. Any short-term breakout in a shorter-term charts might result into a very good swing trade in Jindal Steel and Power. So keep watch on this stock. But again, understand guys, when I am talking that it could result into a trade, overall markets are very lackluster. So if you have a trade in your hand, do not pounce on it and do not think that अरे यार बहुत दिन के बाद एक अच्छा ट्रेड मिला है, पूरा पैसा इसके अंदर डाल देता हूँ, पूरा कसर निकाल देता हूँ. Don't try to do that. If you try to do that and if the trade goes wrong, you'll pay a very hefty price. So again, understand we are in a range bound market. Making money in this market is very negligible. Losing money in this market, the chances of losing money in this type of market is very high. So rather than increasing your position sizing, I would say reduce your position sizing to 50%. It's not about making money. It's about just, as a trader, it's just like hanging in there. You must have seen a boxing match, right? In a boxing match, many times you see that, you must have seen the movie Rocky in 1980s from Sylvester Stallone. So in that movie, this guy, Sylvester Stallone, he clearly says that as a boxer, as a fighter, when the opponent is, very strong, when he's trying to hit you back, try to hold on. Just try to hold on your ground. Don't give up. And don't try to beat in return when that person is hitting you. Because if you try to do that, you're losing your guard and you'll get hit. Winning is done not just by hitting, but taking the hits and standing there hurt. And then when the opposite guy gets hurt and not hurt but tired, then you start hurting back. So market cannot consolidate forever. Ask yourself, can market consolidate between 17,450 to 16,700 forever, maybe next 6 months? No, there will be a breakout or a breakdown. So you just need to wait for that. So when I talk about any stock, it may be Axis Bank, it may be IndusInd Bank or Jindal Steel and Power, kindly use your own analysis first of all, and on top of that, deploy 50% less position sizing, guys. Please do that. All right. This is a time to save money, not to be brave. Autopack. Autopack, I think even last week I told you it is at a very, very, very strong support. You can see in the weekly time frame charts, but you can see in the daily time frame charts, yes, we are at a pretty decent support. But we are pretty much range bound. And I guess what I can sense from this is whenever this consolidation will continue, I believe at least it will need 2 or maybe even 3 weeks of consolidation. There will be 2 stocks as of now. See, this is as of now. After 3 weeks, if something changes, obviously my analysis will change. This particular stock should be in your watch list all the time. It's Maruti Suzuki. Number 2, according to me, Ashok Leyland. So these 2 stocks from the entire list of stocks, according to me, should be in your watch list. Whenever that consolidation gets over, And if that point of time, these two stocks haven't broken down very much, they are staying afloat, they're consolidating a little bit up, a little bit down, I think they could be the right, possibly the right, you can say, candidate for a long side trade whenever the consolidation comes to an end. IT. All right. Now, as I told all of you that I'll be sharing something very important. Now, first we need to look and understand what is happening in the monthly time frame charts. Only then we'll look at the weekly time frame charts. Now, let's see over here what's happening. What is happening over here is nothing rocket science. What we can see is we are at a support band, candle cluster, hammer, a hammer, right? These two are hammers. Again, even this one is a hammer. High wave candle. When are these hammers coming? After a correction on the downside. When are these three hammers coming? After a correction on the downside, right? This is probably looking like a shooting star, but I wouldn't consider it a shooting star. The reason for that is its lower wick is not that powerful. And this one, I think, is still in the process of formation because we are still in the middle of this month. So I wouldn't consider it as a proper candle. So we have totally 1, 2, 3, 4 candles which are positive. All right. And these candles have formed at a juncture of a decent support band. This is something which we can see from the monthly time frame charts. That's it, nothing much. Now we'll go to the weekly time frame charts. The picture starts here. I'll just convert this into line chart to make things easy. I hope now it is visible to you. It's probably a double bottom. It's a double bottom pattern. So what we can see over here, I'll convert this into candlestick charts once again. What we can see over here is this is the neckline, my friends. This is the neckline. And you can see two bottoms over here, 1 and 2. All right. Now, I am not a very big fan of patterns. In my entire life, I have used patterns very, very, very rarely. Many of my students, many of my friends who are traders know this. But this one was visible. Just I opened the chart and it just popped into my eyes. So I thought I'll share this with all of you. What I can see is once this rally starts, if this rally starts, first of all, I'm not predicting that we'll have a rally. If we have a decent bounce back from here, then we'll need some big breakout, a big green candle closing above this and the rally continuing on the upside. And as a thumb rule of double bottom, whatever we have from this point to this point, I'll just plot it over here. From this point to this point, exactly that much rally we generally get on the upside. So this is what you need to understand. But as a trader, because very less amount of people trade in the weekly chart, majority trade in the daily chart or hourly or maybe lower time frames. So as a trader, if you look at the hourly time frame charts, I think hourly time frame charts, if you see properly, nothing much is visible because there is too much noise. But if this rally starts, you will start getting positional trades in the daily time frame charts. I guess this is a time when one should take risk in the IT pack. If the risk is successful, if our view goes right, and if the rally starts, we'll be able to pick IT stocks at the right time. If the view goes wrong, it's all right. We just attempted and we followed our systems and we bought breakouts. And if the stops are hit, we'll get out. But if the rally is successful, you will be able to make decent amount of money. And understand one thing, guys, that you can see over here, this particular level, right? 30,444. If someone is waiting for this level, probably it will be too late because your trades will be triggering in the daily charts, not the weekly time frame charts. So you need to understand that. All right. So I just shared this with all of you. Just wanted to share with all of you. And there is one stock in IT pack, in case if this rally starts, and after a rally, if we see a consolidation or something, probably you will be able to see some sort of consolidation in HCL Tech. After this consolidation, it could result into a nice short-term momentum on the upside, but it will take probably a week or maybe even more. All right. Finance pack. Finance pack, I think overall sector is looking very attractive. Breakout, you can see two negative candles. Correction, then again we have a hammer and two positive candles. Overall, we are still consolidating and we could consolidate probably for a week more or even more than that. And this particular gap, you can see over here, this needs to be filled first. Then at least one or two positive candles could result in a upside moment. But it needs some consolidation even more. So you can see overall in all the sectors, I'm using the word consolidation, but that's the plight of the market. Pharma. All right. In pharma, I guess whatever is happening more is in the daily time frame chart. Weekly time frame chart is nothing much to talk about. I'll straight away come to the stock. First stock from my side is Cipla. Cipla is in a very strong uptrend in the daily and in the weekly time frame chart. But in the weekly time frame chart, you can see we have a doji, we have an inverted hammer. Probably we could correct in the daily time frame chart in next few days. If it does happen, please keep this stock in your watch list, because after a correction, if it consolidates and after that consolidation, if it starts moving up, you'll get a beautiful swing trade in your hands. And another stock is Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma may not come down very soon, but it is looking very strong. The way it is continuing, it could go above 1000 levels very soon. Whenever this comes down, it could result into a beautiful swing trade. The third stock is Dr. Reddy's. Dr. Reddy's, if you check the weekly time frame chart, yes, you will be confused because over here we have an inverted hammer and even over here we have a hammer. But the daily time frame chart looks okay. It's not very attractive. It looks okay. But in the hourly time frame charts, if you start seeing some decent momentum on the upside, you could fancy your chances for a decent short-term momentum trade. FMCG pack. FMCG pack, according to me, it needs a lot of more consolidation as the sector itself. But in this sector, there are few pockets, there are few stocks which could still result as a good bet. The first stock is ITC. But ITC, strictly, please keep or only a swing trade. Any sort of breakout, please analyze first at your end. Any sort of breakout on the upside could result in a short-term momentum or a swing trade on the long side. And as a positional trade, I would not go for this stock because you can see already this stock has rallied a lot. But as a short-term momentum trade in the daily chart, you can see that it is pretty ready for it. And you will have to look for the short-term breakouts in the shorter term charts. And one more stock, according to me, is Britannia. Britannia is a stock, according to me, it's still consolidating. It is not given a breakout, but it looks pretty ready and it has taken support from its candlestick cluster. So if you have some upside momentum possible, then you could see some spurt on the upside. Keep this stock in your watch list immediately. Even the weekly time frame chart, if you look, it's not looking that bad. It's looking pretty okay. Realty pack, unfortunately, which was one of the leaders, and now it's looking pretty bad in the last 2 weeks. Nevertheless, it tried to show a lot of strength, but this week again it has dropped down. I guess till the time it is trading above this level 410, till that time it is okay. But once I think it starts sliding below this and closes below this, then I think the problems will be even more worse for this particular sector. So I guess unfortunately from a sector which are showing strength and where short-term traders were using the dips to buy now, if this is broken, unfortunately, I think traders might utilize this sector for selling on rallies, but that's what it is. Consumption pack, last week, I think I had told that you can look for swing trades, but not for positional trades. And now it seems that the sector has corrected and we are trading currently at a very strong support. You can see I'm just moving my crosshair over here. It is this previous high. So yes, we are at a pretty good support. But somehow it seems the type of rally which we have seen over here, either it will need a multi-week consolidation or else we'll need to break this, and the chances of getting this broken is slightly higher. If this breaks down, I would suggest to probably stay away from the sector for time being and let this correction get over as fast as possible. If this correction gets over as fast as possible, then we'll be able to get new opportunities. So as of now, wait what happens over here. If it starts going for a pullback or something, then maybe you will get some decent swing trades. But again, be very, very watchful. Don't just jump into any stock. Be very watchful. But if this particular zone is broken, then I think so there could be a problem for this particular sector. All right. Mid cap index looking extremely, extremely strong. Hammer, proper, strong hammer. This red one, again, this particular candle is also sort of a hammer, but looks very strong. And then we have a red candle. But as of now, I would like to neglect this particular candle, not because I'm biased towards mid cap index, but the reason for this is I would like to give a benefit of doubt till the time it doesn't break some important levels. I think once it starts breaking that important level, then maybe we'll see what needs to be decided for this sector, because the reason for this is we have supports still pretty deep over here. And you can see some sort of selling has come up. So we'll need to wait and watch what happens. That is this selling going to continue, take a dip till this level and again bounce back or not? I think only this will be evident in the next week. All right. So this is what I had to share with all of you in the weekly sectoral analysis video. To sum it up all, I think markets are still consolidating. They might consolidate for next couple of weeks at least. In the meantime, if Diwali comes up and probably but festive season, saves everyone, and if market starts rallying, fine, I don't mind, even I'll be happy. But trade as less as possible, or else, I had tweeted on the Twitter that what is the best way to make money when markets are range bound? The best way is either trade less or either don't trade at all. So trade very, very less, and even if you have a trade, deploy 50% less position sizing and keep a watch on IT index. All right, keep a watch on IT index, because this is one particular index which is currently trading at a support. Yes, if the support is broken, obviously, if the support is broken, we could see correction continuing downside. I'm not denying this. I'm not saying that यहाँ से pull back ही आएगा and markets will go up from here. I'm not saying that, but this is a probability and we are reactive traders. But if you see, majority of the people as of now are very, very bearish and market are at very strong supports. So generally when people are negative about the markets and market are at supports, and if the supports do not break, if the supports do not break, then we have a good chance of markets going up, markets going higher. But if the supports break, again, we'll fold our hands to the market and we'll accept whatever markets show to us. All right. So trade less, trade wisely. Thank you.